Tomorrow is the last day humanity will ever know, not because of sudden war or a natural disaster, but because the signs have been here all along, hiding in plain sight. We ignored them, dismissed them as coincidence, or buried them under the noise of everyday life. But when the clock strikes midnight tonight, everything we built, everything we've dreamed, and everything we believed in will collapse. The world as we know it will end tomorrow. At first, it doesn't feel real. People wake up, go to work, check their messages, and plan for a future that will never arrive. Children laugh in playgrounds, unaware that their laughter will echo into silence. Couples argue about trivial matters, not knowing those arguments won't matter by dawn. The illusion of normalcy holds strong because the human mind refuses to accept finality. We believe tomorrow will always come. But this time, tomorrow is the end. The warnings came in many forms. Scientists noticed subtle changes in the Earth's magnetic field, fluctuations so small they could only be measured by the most precise instruments. At first, they thought it was nothing, just another anomaly. But then, the patterns grew stronger, aligning with cycles that pointed to a catastrophic shift. Underground laboratories began detecting strange pulses, waves of energy that didn't belong to nature as we understood it. These were not earthquakes, not solar flares, not anything that could be explained. It was as if the Earth itself was preparing to shut down. Governments knew before the people did. Quietly, without headlines, without announcements, preparations were made. Underground bunkers filled with supplies, data centers backed up into deep vaults, and powerful individuals vanished from public view. They told themselves it was precaution, but in truth, they already knew. What comes tomorrow cannot be stopped. It can only be survived by a few, if survival is even possible. Technology, the very creation we thought would save us, only confirmed the end. Artificial intelligence models ran simulations of climate collapse, asteroid impacts, nuclear fallout. None of those matched the signals we were seeing. Then the machines began to converge on one terrifying conclusion: the collapse of reality itself. A phenomenon so vast, so incomprehensible, that even AI struggled to define it. Not destruction in the physical sense, but the unraveling of the systems that hold existence together. And so, whispers began. Whispers that time itself was faltering, that the universe had reached a point where the cycle resets, where everything we know fades into nothingness, only to begin again in forms we cannot imagine. Whether you believed in religion, science, or neither, the conclusion was the same. Tomorrow, it all ends. Tonight, cities glow as if mocking the darkness to come. Skyscrapers stand tall, their lights piercing the night sky, unaware that tomorrow those lights will be meaningless. Crowds fill the streets, some celebrating, some panicking, others pretending nothing is happening at all. Humanity reacts in strange ways to finality. Some pray, others indulge, and many simply continue life as if nothing has changed. But beneath the surface, fear runs deep. Imagine standing at the edge of time itself, knowing every word you say may be your last, every meal your final taste, every breath a gift you won't have again. For once, humans are united, not by hope, not by ambition, but by the certainty of an ending. The billionaires in their bunkers, the poor in their crowded streets, the leaders, the workers, the lovers, the lonely, all face the same fate tomorrow. No power, no wealth, no influence can stop the clock. The question is not whether the world ends tomorrow. The question is how humanity will face it. Will we cling to denial until the very last moment? Or will we embrace truth and find meaning in the final hours? That choice is the only freedom left. The night grows heavier as the final hours pass. Across the globe, silence begins to spread in ways no one expected. Airplanes that once filled the skies are grounded, not because of orders, but because the pilots themselves refuse to leave the ground. Who would want to soar into the heavens knowing the sky itself may tear apart? Stock markets close permanently, not because of financial collapse, but because the future no longer has value. The concept of profit dies when tomorrow is gone. Scientists release fragments of the truth, carefully worded in hidden reports that leak onto the internet. A few words here, a sentence there: irreversible collapse, unexplainable energy surge, terminal anomaly. Most people dismiss these as conspiracy theories. After all, the human mind is skilled at rejecting what it cannot control. But deep down, even the skeptics feel it. Something is wrong. Something is shifting. The air feels different. The night's colder, the stars too sharp in the sky. Reality itself seems thinner, as if a veil is lifting. Religions across the world declare prophecy fulfilled. Temples overflow with prayers, mosques echo with recitations, churches toll their bells endlessly. The faithful gather, not just to seek salvation, but to face the end together. Belief, in its many forms, becomes the last comfort. Strangers embrace each other in crowded spaces, whispering forgiveness, whispering love. Enemies reconcile, not because they suddenly agree, but because hatred feels small when eternity is about to collapse. Meanwhile, others react with chaos. Cities witness riots unlike anything before, streets burning not from rebellion but from despair. Stores are looted not for survival, but for indulgence. Why save for tomorrow when tomorrow is the end? Music blasts from balconies, laughter mixes with screams, and in every corner, the weight of finality drives humans to extremes. Some dance in the streets as if celebrating the end, while others hide in fear, trembling in locked rooms. Governments, once powerful, lose their grip. Orders carry no meaning when authority itself is dying. Military forces stand down, soldiers abandoning their posts to be with their families. Borders dissolve as people migrate aimlessly, searching for meaning in their final hours. The very structures of civilization crumble without a single shot fired. Humanity, stripped of rules and order, stands raw before the abyss. But not everyone accepts fate. In secret labs buried deep beneath mountains, a handful of scientists attempt one last act of defiance. They believe if they can capture the energy pulse, the strange anomaly that signals the end, they might preserve a fragment of existence. Not survival, not escape, but preservation. A memory of humanity stored in quantum code, carried beyond the collapse into whatever comes next. It is desperate, nearly impossible, and yet what else is left to try? Artificial intelligence, once humanity's servant, now becomes a final judge. Supercomputers hum endlessly, running predictions of what tomorrow brings. Some outputs show darkness, others show rebirth. But one result repeats consistently: continuity not found. The machines cannot process what lies beyond the collapse. They, too, end where we end. In homes across the globe, families gather. Parents tell their children stories, not fairy tales or imagined heroes, but the world as it was. The oceans, the skies, the laughter of humanity. They speak not to comfort, but to ensure that if there is any fragment of memory in whatever comes next, their children will carry the essence of what it meant to be human. Lullabies are sung, not to put children to sleep, but to guide them into the unknown with peace. Lovers cling to each other as if touch itself can resist the end. Words become precious. Every I love you, every I forgive you, every whispered promise glows brighter than gold. For once, humanity understands the weight of words, because every word may truly be the last. Silence, too, becomes sacred, shared between people who no longer need language to express what they feel. Outside, the world shifts further. Animals act strangely, as if sensing the collapse before humans do. Birds refuse to fly, instead clustering on rooftops. Wolves abandon the forest, howling under city lights. Oceans grow restless, waves thrashing against shores with unnatural rhythm. The earth itself seems to groan, as though mourning its own fate. Astronomers, those who have always looked at the skies, are the last to witness the truth. Telescopes capture images of stars bending, galaxies twisting unnaturally, the very fabric of the universe trembling. They describe it as reality fraying at the edges. No explosion, no collision, just unraveling, as if the universe is a book and someone is closing it. And so, as midnight approaches, humanity stands divided yet united, divided in belief, in action, in reaction, united in the certainty that the end comes tomorrow. Some wait quietly, some scream, some build, some destroy. But all know the final sunrise approaches. Midnight strikes. The air grows heavy with a silence so profound that it feels unnatural. Across cities, villages, deserts, and seas, humanity collectively holds its breath. No one dares to ask, "What now?" For everyone already knows the countdown has begun. The final day has arrived. At 12:01 a.m., strange pulses ripple through the sky. Not lightning, not auroras. Something else, something alien. Streams of energy bend across the horizon, visible even to the naked eye. They are silent, yet they vibrate through bones, through blood, through memory. Children cry without knowing why. Elders stare with hollow recognition, as if their souls have felt this moment long before. Governments make one last attempt to broadcast reassurance. Televisions and devices flicker with messages. Stay calm. Remain indoors. Trust your leaders. But the words ring hollow, fragile against the immensity of what unfolds above. Power grids fail minutes later. Screens go dark. Humanity is left with nothing but each other, and the stars that now burn too bright. In one corner of the world, a group of monks chant in rhythm, believing their voices might harmonize with the universe's dying song. In another, soldiers fire their weapons into the air, defiant to the end. On rooftops, people scream prayers, curses, love confessions, all carried into the trembling sky. As dawn approaches, time itself begins to distort. Watches tick slower, then faster, then stop altogether. Shadows lengthen unnaturally, twisting in directions that defy physics. Reality feels like glass cracking, invisible fractures spreading across existence. People begin to feel memories slipping, not just of yesterday, but of moments still happening. A mother holds her child and suddenly cannot recall her own name. A man runs to find his brother, only to forget who he is searching for. Time is not just ending, it is unraveling. The scientists, hidden in their underground lab, push harder. They activate the quantum archive, pouring all humanity's knowledge into coded light. Art, music, language, history, laughter, even silence, captured in streams of data. They don't know where it will go, but they believe energy never dies. Perhaps the essence of humanity will survive somewhere, in some dimension beyond collapse. Their leader, exhausted and broken, whispers, "We will not be forgotten." Meanwhile, the AI, vast network spread across continents, begins broadcasting its final analysis. In millions of homes, devices subtly activate, speaking in one unified voice. Humanity, this is not death. This is transition. The words bring no comfort, only questions. But before anyone can respond, the AI falls silent. Its circuits burn out in unison, as though the universe itself has erased the possibility of thought beyond this moment. As the final sunrise draws near, the world slows. The oceans grow still. The winds cease. Even the cries of animals fade into an unnatural hush. The planet seems to prepare, not for destruction, but for surrender.